Hello everyone, JP the Third with you, Vins now, and I am playing today Fault STP Lightkravte. It has been 5 years since I've played a work by Alice and Dissonance, and this is their, well, the full name is Alice and Dissonance Project Written. They did Fault Milestone 1 and 2, which I reviewed on vnsnow.com, and they are working, well, there's a kind of a story. Hold on, let me get, at bare minimum, let me at least get the screen right. There we go. I just noticed it was kind of cut off on the on OBS, but so they did Fault Milestone 1. Then they did Fault Milestone 2 Side Above, which was split off to be 2 different stories, and then in Planning Side Below, which was supposed to be the second half of which was supposed to be the part 2 of Fault Milestone 2, they started developing Silence the Pettit, which is, I believe the Pettit is supposed to be Return on one of the main characters, but I will contend, just for a good chuckle, that the Pettit is supposed to be me, because I have voraciously consumed their work, and anybody who has followed my own work so far knows I can be quite pedantic. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that in developing STP, it has created its own sort of ecosystem, and that has brought us to Lightkravte. I will be playing this entirely through. If you get to the, which I hope you do, you get to the end of this video, there will be a link to my playthrough of the demo of Silence the Pettit. From the description of the game, you don't need one to understand the other, but in order to fully understand the world, I think you should have access to just about, well, the reviews and at least that playthrough to fully get what they're trying to do, if only on a meta level. With all of that said, like I said, it's been 5 years. Let's jump back into it. I wonder if they got, I know they've been working on like the animation piece. I wonder if they've gotten voice actors or if I've got to read over it myself. Yep, looks like I've got to do it. It's none of our business. Such was the attitude of each and every citizen of the Kingdom of Rughzenhaide. Idle gossip, fodder for small talk, empty empty confabulation and pointless drivel. So long as it didn't impact their lives, the ongoing war overseas was a topic of relevance only in bars and taverns, where the old intoxicated men loudly and fruitlessly debated their equally wine-plied peers. That is, until the reigning sovereign, King of Rughzenhaide, resolved to take in refugees and provide emergency relief supplies to the struggling kingdom of Sheshkana. I believe I pronounced that correctly, and even if I didn't, we're going with it. It did not take long for the other members of the alliance to voice their support for the decision. And just like that, the atmosphere changed. A gray-colored veil of unease began to descend over Rughzenhaide. There is, however, inertia to a kingdom and its people. From professionals balancing their work and health to youth applying themselves to their studies. In unanimous and unspoken harmony, everyone kept going about their respective businesses, and despite their fears and doubts they harbored, continued to do their best to preserve the unremarkable modalities of everyday life. The unremarkable heir of the long-established Oberg fruit farm, Khaji Oberg, was of course no exception. I will say this. The presentation in these games is always fantastic. I don't care who you are. My name is Khaji. I got 2 loves, history and girls. I'm not gonna like you, am I, Khaji? Other than that, I'm just your everyday son of a 4th generation freeformer. As normal can be. Clearly, in this game of... Hold on, let me turn it down just a bit. It's blasting in my ears. There we go. Oh, no, I'm pretty sure I'm blasting in you guys here, and I do apologize for that. Whew. Lately, though, I find girls to be especially appealing. Beautiful ones, cute ones, classy ones, gentle ones, stern ones. This is such a throwback to the 90s, I swear to Wild, really? Dude, control yourself, please. I love them all. I love watching them from afar and listening to them talk. I love being close to them too. Sometimes I get a whiff, which is a nice bonus. I love girls. All women, in fact. They truly are the best. When I get to be near a lovely lady, basking in her mana while studying history, those are the moments I live for. Oh, we've got a glossary. Fantastic. So, mana, if you've played any fantasy game, you know where this is going. Here's the thing, though. Lately, simply beholding them isn't cutting it for me anymore. I need some sort of physical representation of their beauty, like a portrait, and I need to paint it myself. I did it. Check it out, Adia. This time, I think I finally captured the essence of your charm. This one's had to put up with a lot. I can see it in her face. You definitely captured something. Everything about this is so incredibly you. Yes! Wait. That's not a compliment, is it? Oh, don't worry about it, Khaji. I mean, sure, there are patterns and principles that people have been following for ages, but challenging norms is just as important. I mean, you didn't have to burn him quite that thoroughly, but I'm not going to complain. Roast away. Lay on, McDuff. Are you telling me my art is so bad I have to challenge the basic norms of aesthetics to make people like it? Ah, sorry. I just remembered I had to go for foreigner practice. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. I'll see you next week. Don't get too upset, okay? Just keep at it. Oh, Adia, I wonder if she knows don't get too upset is pretty much the most upsetting thing she could have said. It's been 2 years since I started learning to paint. So far, there's been no sign of improvement whatsoever. I just don't get it. How come it's always so perfect, seems perfect when I'm painting it, but whenever I come back and take another look, it's so bad it hurts? I don't think I've ever drawn a single piece of art that I'm truly satisfied with. Oh jeez, I'm gonna be late. Fahrenheit never fails to impress. Storied buildings like this are everywhere in Rughzenhaide. Man, this is why I'll never get enough of this kingdom. It's the home of the Dissonance, contemporary nobles who are a branch of the royal family. The building's stately aura speaks to their prestige. At the same time, Fahrenheit Manor also functions as a government office, so it's frequented by ordinary people as well. Much of the premises is off limits to the public of course. But just getting to bask in this atmosphere is a high point of the vocast experience. This I need to know. An abbreviation of vocation expert. Gotcha. This is no time to be appreciating architecture. I'm really starting to feel the nerves now. Okay, let's go in. She done broke the poor boy. Ishta Viserio, welcome to Fahrenheit Manor. What can I help you with on this beautiful day? Ishtardiana Viserio. The day is indeed very beautiful, isn't it? The sky is just... Yes, may I have your name, please? Oh, of course. My name is Khaji Oberg. Khaji Oberg. Vocaf application, I presume? Yes, exactly. I placed you in the queue. Please release the sediment, and we'll notify you by comms line when it's your turn. Known formally as Mandalay Sedimentary Rocks, is subdivided into 4 classes. Class 1 is the highest grade, while Class 4 is the lowest. Poor quality sediment has a tendency to slowly change the purified mana stored within it to some form of colored mana. They go over this in the games. This is why I say you still should probably know the basics. Like, they got the glossary, but if you know the basics of the previous games, you can. Feel free to browse the manor in the meantime. Okay. That reception is So pretty. She's so young, but her traditional Staville pronunciation seems so natural. It's music to my ears. Pronounce Staville. Oh, I got you. I guess people working in Rughzenhaide really are cut from a better cloth. You know, from a hero right up my alley too. But it's true, I'm really not gonna like you, are I? And so, time passed. Mr. Khaji Oberg. Mr. Khaji Oberg? Mr. Khaji Oberg, please respond. What? Yes. Mr. Khaji Oberg, an officer is ready to speak with you. Please make your way to the main building as soon as possible. The main building? Are you sure it's okay for an ordinary citizen like me to go there? Yes, it is. Have a good day. What? The main building? Why? What's going on? The main building is where the nobles live. The general public is almost never allowed into the main building. This is making me even more nervous. I don't want to keep them waiting though, so let's go and take a look. Excuse me. Hey, it is you. I thought your name man was like, is it really him? Huh? Miss Flora, what are you doing here? Because this is my home and I live here? Oh, right. Being in Rughzenhaide, of course you'd be here at Rughzenhaide Manor. Nothing right about that at all. Wait, no. I mean, here specifically. Oh, don't tell me. Are you my officer? Yep. Staffing shortage apparently, so I got called in to help. I see. Does that mean all of my personal information is openly available to you now? I guess that does. Do you think that'll be a problem? Does utterly embarrassing count as a problem? Because if it does, then we have a pretty big one. Oh, come on. It's okay. I'm here as an officer, so I have a duty to maintain confidentiality. Excuse me, all. Sorry about that pause. Just need a little drink there. Whatever you say here, stays here. No worries about that. That doesn't make it unembarrassing, just so you know. Alright, I get it. You don't want a newbie like me handling your case, right? What? No, that's not it at all. I kill to spend time like this with you. I mean, in any other case, I consider myself super lucky to have a chance to talk to you, but... they hit that particular piece of animation really good. The little head tilt. That was good. But, well, for something like this, it's still kind of awkward. I get you, but I'm not sure what I can do about it. Like I said, it's busy season right now, so we can't accommodate cancellations for mass burners. There's no guarantee we can rebook you anytime soon. So if you don't want to miss this season, you'll have to put up with me this time. How about it? Oh. Ooh. What's happening? Put up with me. Put up with me? Put up with me? That's a phrase so unbefitting you and your wistful beauty that I can't believe I just made you say that. I'm a disgrace to all men. Hard facts, but not for the reasons you think. Khaji, are you okay? Sorry if I made you upset. If you really don't want to, I'll try to get you rescheduled somehow. No need, Miss Flora. I'm sorry you have to put up with someone like me, but please, go ahead with the interview. Huh? Alright then. Okay, let me see. Hey Khaji, this is your third time applying? Yes, it is. I've been, having some trouble. I see. I assume the fact that you're here means you're not taking over the fruit farm. Yes, that's right. I'm thinking of doing something else for a living. Okay. And the vocation you're applying for is... Wait, what? Painter? Yes. I'd like to find a job that involves painting. Wow, aspiring artist, huh? Didn't see that coming. I don't blame you. I mean, when you look at me, artist isn't the first thing that pops into mind. That's not what I meant. I just thought for sure you'd take over your fruit farm. But well, I guess you can never know. It can't be easy for you either. You have my sympathy. Thanks. Anyway, let's move on to the results. Based on your review... is something wrong? Well, how should I put this? You know what? Forget it. I'll give it to you straight. According to the report, we showed your art to 40 amateur artists and 40 pros, and your vocational potential as a painter got an approval rating of 6.9%. Nice! Huh? But it was 15% last time. How did it get even lower? I practiced so much too. What gives? Are you telling me I didn't improve at all? No, wait. That means I got worse. That can't be right. Well, according to the review notes, they disclosed the fact that your father is the owner of Oberg Fruit Farm this time, and apparently, due to that, most of the opinions said it was overall more productive for you to take over your family business. From, you know, a utilitarian perspective. Damn! Oh, and just for the record, it also says here that if you were taking over the fruit farm, they would have supported you with a rating of 100. But like the last almost 20 minutes now have just been roasting Khaji, and I am here for it. Why would they just reveal personal information like that? What my family does has nothing to do with anyone. How reviews are conducted is up to the reviewing officers, so I can't say much about that. In your case, you're a fourth generation fruit farmer. Considering your history, it's honestly a miracle they didn't factor that in the first two times. With a rating like this, a vocation registration as a painter is, I'm sorry, but I'll have to deny your application again. No, it's only been like 30 seconds and it's already over? Isn't there anything else that can be done? Look, I feel for you, I really do. But artistic vocations like painters tend to be judged more harshly by society. This is true. Handyman is somewhere around 30%. I might have been able to pull some strings. This is more like, please don't do this job. Miss Flora. Yes? Running Rughzenhaide's vocab system doesn't make any sense. How come other people have so much say in what job I do? I just want to live my own life. Hold on a second, Khaji. Just to be clear, what's being declined is your vocation registration as a painter. The government isn't telling you not to paint. Whether you paint or not is up to you. That's a personal choice you're always free to make. You can take over the fruit farm and make that your vocation, then paint on the side as a hobby. How about that? In fact, why did you apply in the first place? What is it about registering your vocation as a painter that matters so much? Well, it's like in basic status unless I have a registered vocation. Reference to the lowest class of individuals in the Alliance, which are the unemployed. Ah, fair enough. Though they receive sufficient provision to guarantee basic survival, the vast majority of more limited resources such as premium ingredients and processed foods and access to specialized physicians and medicines are frequently out of their reach due to low provision priority of basic status. Are you not satisfied with the standard of living in basic status? In that case, why not just take over the fruit farm? Your status will change. It's not about my standard of living. It's about... I have a dream. A dream? Yes, I see all these beautiful... Khaji, no! I see all these beautiful women walking around every day, and I feel this urge. It makes me want to preserve their beauty in the form of paintings. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this particular bit of animation. So perfect. Okay then. Let's just pretend that wasn't the creepiest thing I've ever heard. Anyway, can't you do that without making it your vocation? No, no way. Not in a million years. Huh? How come? Think about it. If I'm not a registered painter and I try to talk to a cute girl on the street, she'll just call the authorities on me. Facts. Continue. How creepy do you have to be to get the authorities called on you just talking to someone? Aren't you exaggerating a little? I feel like this hypothetical girl wouldn't go that far. Besides, I'm sort of a wimp. I don't have the guts to talk to girls without a title to my name. I'm definitely sensing some past trauma here. But, I mean, if it's for your dream, I just can't. I can't do what I can't do. Oh, I know. Why don't you try to get yourself into a studio somewhere? Some places don't ask for a Fahrenheit's recommendations. If they take you in, we can do a provisional vocation registration for you. Already? Huh? I tried that already. I asked everyone I could find. But they all want work experience. Nobody's taking novices this season. Everywhere I went, they just shut the door in my face. I see. Yeah, I don't blame them. This word, judging by the context, it probably means vegetable. So going from the top, I think this says, that husband of mine never finishes his vegetables. I keep telling him the authorities will come down on us if we're too wasteful, but he never learns. He's a big baby. What am I going to do with him? Alright, let's see what it actually is. Time to check the answer. Yes, I'm almost spot on. I've clearly got a knack for this. I should totally become a translator. Wouldn't want to waste all this talent after all. Maybe it's because I've been practicing a lot lately. But I'm getting noticeably, better at deciphering pencraft. Pencraft refers to the technique of using mana as a medium to infuse the writer's intent into the written text. A book inscribed with pencraft looks no different from normal, but every passage is encoded with an author's intended meaning. The reader can then use a special loop called a reading stone to decipher what the author really meant. It's actually fairly clever. Though seemingly redundant at first glance, there exists a good reason for this twofold writing system. Pencraft prevents the true meaning of an author's writings from being weathered away by time. Ink preserves the language in its contemporaneous form, while mana binds the intent behind the words to the ink. This allows the author's intended meaning to be more clearly conveyed to future generations. We could certainly use a system like that here in the US. I'm just saying. If you know, you know. Of course, pencraft is not a perfect technique. The accurate conveying of intent is dependent on various factors such as the vocabulary and linguistic competence of both the reader and original writer. Judging just like how the same text read by different people will result in different interpretations, how a passage of pencraft is deciphered also varies by the person. Even if the interpretations are similar, they can still manifest as different words. Some people might claim that makes the technique pointless, but in my opinion, the imperfection is what makes it all the more beautiful. It makes you realize no matter how advanced an analogy becomes, people will always seek connection and understanding with others. It's such a sobering thought, and it makes me appreciate the writing so much more. When the infused meaning successfully resonates with my vocabulary and materializes as floating words, the rush I feel is simply indescribable. The next line is, the wife is fed up with the husband's dislike of vegetables. It's so amazing when I'm on a roll. The words just keep coming. It makes me feel like a manakravte almost. Manacraft, basically magic user. You see it there. But man, you really get the feel for the times through the writing. This is during the final years of Queen Reagan's reign, so just before the regime changed from the second generation to the third. Back then, harsh rationing regulations were still in place, and the government had a pretty big say in how people lived their lives. What a time that must have been. I wish I could have experienced Queen Reagan for myself. I'd love to have her walk. Down, boy. Hey, Khaji, I'm coming in. Huh? What? Oh, jeez, Dad. Sorry for rushing in, but you got some explaining to do. Are you really trying to become a painter? What the? Who told you that? Didn't really need to be told. It's Vocast season. I haven't heard a peep from you about taking over the family business, and you keep going to the manor. Wasn't hard to put two and two together. I also asked the Fahrenheit for confirmation. For the love of Miss Flora, she said she wasn't going to tell random people about it. Pretty sure parents don't count as random people. Facts. But still, it's none of your business. It damn well is. You're still a minor, you know. Plus, if you're not going to take over the farm, then I've got a person-sized hole I gotta fill. That's definitely my business. You gotta start thinking about how your actions affect others, Khaji, or you'll never grow up. Well, I'm sorry. You came in sort of suddenly and it freaked me out. What's this you're doing? Oh, the usual. Deciphering old books. I always try to leave some time for this. It's an experience to be savored. By deciphering, you mean your little puzzle hobby, where you take already deciphered text and try to do it again without looking at the answer? I should have known you were just goofing off. You got some real nerve, boy. If I failed my Vocast applications 3 times, I'd be sweating bullets. Hey, I'm not goofing off. This is serious stuff. You think it's easy interpreting the author's meaning from old text and turning it into words? It took me 3 volumes of this young wife's diaries from Wall District series to get good enough to read it at a decent pace. It's all well and fine, but weren't you trying to become a painter? And judging by the fact that you don't have a recommendation from Fahrenheit, your skills clearly aren't up to snuff. Shouldn't you be practicing your painting? I did already. 2 whole hours today. Besides, this is my book deciphering time. I've got this whole schedule worked out so I can pace myself properly. A schedule? That sounds like a strange way to practice. You think? I think it's pretty reasonable. Well, I'm no art expert, but are you sure you'll get better by just practicing a set amount of time every day? I won't say I'm sure, but it gives me somewhere to start, right? When I asked Adia, she said it's best to sketch for at least an hour a day, so I figured twice that much should be safe. I see. Well, alright then. Is something wrong? Nah, gotta say though, I didn't think I'd be the last Oberg to run the fruit farm. See, I thought that. I guess when it comes to us ordinary folks, things will just end sometime. Can't keep them going through past them. Yeah, this is something they mentioned back in Fall Milestone 2. The kind of craft that only royalty can use, which borrows the energies of the mana pole to transfer memories. Wait, you're not against me becoming an artist? Well, I'm not fond of the idea. But I'm not going to say no to something you want to do just because I don't like it. Huh. Really? I thought there'd be, I don't know, a little more resistance or something. Yeah, well, I made a promise with your mother that I'd let you follow your training. Oh. Tell me one thing, though. Why painting? And not just any painting, but portraits of women specific. You don't want to know. Following your dream is one thing, but I can't encourage you to be a creep. What the? Stop. Dad, where'd you hear all this from? Like I said, from Miss Flora. I asked her and she told me. Miss Flora, please. Does confidentiality even mean anything to you? Okay, look, it's not about painting only women. I don't have anything against men. I just like painting women more. Here I was wondering why you've been into painting lately. That sure explains it. Anyway, your questionable choices of portrait subjects aside, are you really sure you want to part ways with the Oberg fruit farm? Well, look, I want you to follow your dreams, honest. It's what your mother wanted to, and I'll always honor that. But you can't bring me a vocational potential of 6.9% and expect me to cheer you on. I've never even heard of a rating that low. Facts. That's because they took the situation with the fruit farm into consideration. And listen, I don't know the first thing about art, but as a parent, I don't want to watch you put in the work, and get nothing back. It hurts to see, you know. That's. Speaking of which, do you even like to paint? Don't take this the wrong way, but from where I stand, it doesn't really look like you're painting because you like doing it. Yeah, he's just doing it to talk to girls. That's it. It's not that he has a passion for it. Dad was surprised to learn I had been painting for 2 years. We lived together, and he had no idea. Does he even care about me? Clearly he does. You're just a brat. No, that's not fair to him. Correct. He's a good dad. The adolescent years are tough for everyone, and he's making an effort to give me some space. Even I can tell that much. But then, what gives? Why does he think I don't like painting? Does all that hard work I've been putting in look like nothing to others? A failed Vocast review is basically the painting world telling me I'm not... Wow. That was my sinuses seeking their revenge. A failed Vocast review is basically the painting world telling me I'm not good enough. That's why I work to get better. Well, I thought I did anyway. I'm 3 for 3 so far. I'm failing spectacularly, that is. My approval rating this time didn't even hit double digits. But for some reason, I feel a sense of relief. I mean, just think about it. My rating doesn't make any sense. I've been putting in the work every single day, and not only has it not paid off, it's apparently made me worse. I could understand if the rating stayed the same, but it went down. The only explanation then has to be some problem with their process, some bias or error or something. I mean, they did find out about my fruit farm situation this time. Maybe that's the reason. Or maybe you're just a genuinely bad artist. Everyone saw farm and they just focused on that. They reviewed the farm instead of my paintings. That has to be why. Don't take this the wrong way, but from where I stand, it doesn't really look like you're painting because you like doing it. What Dad says bugs me though. Do I like painting? You know what? I never actually thought about that before. When I finish a painting, I feel pretty good. But what about while I'm painting it? How does the process make me feel? That's not something I've ever considered. Maybe I feel nothing. Maybe it's not actually fun for me. What is it that keeps me going? What is it that keeps me going then? Is it because painting is supposed to be a means to an end and not the end itself? Something like that? All this philosophizing is making me sleepy. Maybe I just have no talent. Speaking of talent, I sure ran into a boatload of it recently. Retona. And it was all in one person. One monster of a person. Crazy ace of all trades who could just pick up something for the first time and do it better than everyone else. For some, her name is practically synonymous with talent. Retona Rainvasta. She hails from a line of battlecrafters, all of whom serve as royal guardians, elite knights tasked with protecting Rughzenhaide's royal family. Battlecrafters are warrior magicians. You can read the description there or pause it. Apparently, when it comes to manakravte, she's not some garden variety genius. She's a once-in-a-century freak of nature. She's the youngest ever to break the record for fastest sword fabrication time. Rumor has it that she could go toe-to-toe with knights from the Order. And she can purportedly turn invisible using glass. Everything about her is so over the top you can't tell where the truth ends and the nonsense begins. For some reason, she started showing up at the gathering spot I frequent. She's always got this bored look on her face while she's fabricating stuff and breaks them down again. Sometimes she makes some fire to fiddle with. Honestly, she doesn't look like much. Sometimes I wonder if the rumors are completely overblown. However, the reactions of the people around her beg to differ. Still, the return of Rainvasta that I know, is a contemptuous brat who's always snacking on our fruits, the strawberries, and being an all-around nuisance by refusing to inherit her guardian title. After losing her grandfather, who was her only living family, she ended up shunned by everyone around her. I sympathize with her circumstances, but the succession issue, I feel like people are being too soft on her. I mean, she's from a super distinguished family. Doesn't she have some duty to honor her lineage or something? I don't know, but she just gets on my nerves. Honestly, I think she's just an entitled troublemaker who's got more attitude than sense. Not that I'd ever said it to her face, of course. Talent, huh? These past 2 years, I think I've been pretty diligent about painting practice. Almost every day I sit down and practice for a set amount of time. Days where that didn't happen, I can count on one hand. Compared to the people around me though, I can tell that something's just not clicking. When I see how easily Adia moves her hand over the canvas, I start wondering if I'll ever be as good as her. The thought keeps me up at night. Sometimes it wakes me up in a cold sweat. Maybe I never will. Maybe no amount of practice will make me good enough to paint something like that. Compared to the other students, I feel like I'm the only one who's making no progress. It's like I'm missing some crucial piece of the puzzle. 2 years worth of effort. Was it all for nothing? What am I even supposed to do at this point? I'm gonna try not to think about this, but from the depths of my mind, a dark thought bubbles to the surface. Maybe I'm not like the others. Different. Not in a good way. The more I dwell on it, the more I feel out of place. There's something about me that people don't understand. Whatever it is, I can't help but feel that it's going to make the path of an artist a very, very lonely one for me. But even so, I want to keep going, so that everything I've done so far amounts to something. That's the problem. I believe that it's the problem. This isn't what I envisioned. The women I want to paint, they're right there. I can see them in my mind. When I put them onto a canvas, they're wrong. Why? Why, damn it? I don't know what to do anymore. What if Mom were alive? What would she say to me in times like these? The reason bad things are happening to you is because you're a dumbass. That's what your mom would say. That reminds me, I haven't written to her in a while. I should do that. It'll help me organize my thoughts. Date? Dear Mom, it's been a while since my last entry happened. I've been sort of busy lately and couldn't get around to writing. Sorry. Today I went to get the results of my third vocab application and somehow the approval rating ended up even lower than before. I honestly have no idea how that's even possible. After last time, I decided to devote a set number of hours every day to painting practice, and I've been doing that ever since. So how come I got even worse? It's not fair. It'd be nice if I could learn at a proper place, but most studios have a no-novice policy, which boggles the mind. I don't have experience, so I want to learn, but to learn I need experience. What gives? Apparently places like that have no intention of training new apprentices. They want to bring in people who can hit the ground running. That seems weird to me, but turns out our fruit farm is the same, and we generally don't hire anyone who hasn't gone through the Fahrenheit Recommendation Center. We don't even take apprentices. Then again, the whole apprentice system is so old, nobody really bothers with it anymore. I guess I'll have to accept that's how things are these days. In any case, I clearly still have a long way to go when it comes to painting. But still, 6.9%? That seems a little too low, doesn't it? Not that I can do anything about it. So for now, I'm just going to keep practicing and try again next season. Other happenings. I heard they cranked the season tower up to full strength to produce emergency release supplies to Shush Carlin. I think it's just entered the summer cycle because it's really hot out right now. A tower facility, wow, that regulates the outside temperature of all of Rughzenhaide, allowing for a comfortable cycle of 4 seasons that never gets too hot or cold. This is made possible by the efforts of hundreds of climate operators. During times of emergency, the climate can be manipulated to accelerate the growth of crops. That's not a bad device to have. It feels really weird, as if the whole year just got squeezed into the span of a few months. We're technically in a state of emergency, but some of the people we know seem like they're actually enjoying the change of pace. Personally, I feel anxious. Honestly, I don't think it's sunk in yet. It has sunk in yet. It's so peaceful here in Rughzenhaide and the rest of the Alliance. I still have trouble believing there's a war going on overseas. If Sheshkarlan joins the Alliance, wouldn't Rughzenhaide get dragged into the conflict as well? Just thinking about it scares me. But it's something that His Majesty King Vala and the Alliance decided, so it's probably for the best. Ah, jeez, I almost forgot. Hey, you got a moment? Oh, what? What the? Don't come in without knocking. Huh? What do you mean? I did knock. Plenty of times. You did? Sorry, then I didn't notice. Anyway, I noticed it's sudden, but can you do some deliveries tomorrow? I forgot about it until just now. Sure, I guess. Where to? The kitchen. The kitchen, in fact. You mean the Grand Kitchen? How did you forget about the delivery to Rughzenhaide's castle? Damn season tower's throwing everything off. The schedule's a mess. Our current crew's already up to their necks in work. It's a struggle just to keep on top of the orders every day. Really? It's that bad, huh? Sure is. So a bit of help would be nice, if you don't mind. Tomorrow morning, Rughzenhaide Castle. I already told Miss Millie. I guess it's going to be an early morning tomorrow. The fruit farm's harvest timings are totally out of whack, and it's starting to get to Dad. No one forgot a delivery to Rughzenhaide's castle. I think he's still managing, though. I mean, he said he's struggling to keep on top of the orders, but his definition of keep on top is more like perfectly distribute every harvested batch with no waste. He's always been like that. I try to help whenever I have time to. Alright, I should start getting ready for bed. It's still early, but I need to do the delivery to Rughzenhaide Castle tomorrow morning. That's about it for now. I know I just wrote about a lot of problems, but Dad and I are both doing fine, so don't worry about us. Sincerely, your son, Khaji Oberg. Hey. Not again. Hey, don't stay up too late now, you hear? Oh, I know. Jeez, how many times are you going to come in? As many times as it takes to make you stop jumping. Or until it stops amusing me. Points to the father. Why are you such a bundle of nerves, huh? Practice some composure. Leave me alone. I'm writing my diary. And don't read it, okay? It's private. As if anyone can make sense of your chicken scratches. I couldn't read it if I tried. Oof. It'd be nice if all that painting practice made your handwriting a little better too. Like this whole video has just been roasting Khaji, but I'm still here for it. It's none of your business. Go away already. Perfect. I really like the semantic setup so far. I don't think the OP has any lyrics. I think we're good. Yeah, we'll let it play out. If they start singing, I'll stop talking. Yeah, we're still good. So I like the themes of this one. There is some criticism of the organized educational system, or like the job placement system, whatever you want to call it. But there's also a lot of criticism of, I guess you'd call it youthful ignorance, or observation of youthful ignorance is probably better. This is a really beautiful opening. Credit where it's due. I butchered it by talking over it, but it was good. Alright. But yeah, there's I should have trust me, it's pretty. Anyway, but yeah, there's just as much criticism of Khaji as it is of the system. The system isn't perfect. It's arguably not even good, but at the same time, there's also criticism of him, because this painting clearly isn't his it's a means to an end. He said so himself. Really doesn't want to acknowledge that because he wants to kind of stay in stasis. Women are his passion. And his actual skill is as a translator. And he could probably do that or the farm. But painting is just him trying to find a quick way to talk to women. That's it. So a lot of that will explore that theme, as well as probably critique a little further the organized system of making of people getting a job as a young person, starting a career as a young person. So either you're stuck in a business that you know but don't want, or you can chase your aspirations and the system rejects you. That's kind of how I feel it's going. So we'll see more about that in the next video. I mean, on top of just roasting Khaji religiously. I'm here for it. I'm just... Everybody gets a turn. Leave a like if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not thus far. And again, please check it out. I've got the old reviews linked, and there should be a video somewhere on the screen of Silence the Pedant. Check that out too. It's an interesting world. I disagree sometimes with how it's executed, but it is a very interesting world. I'll catch y'all in the next one.